With the August update, we got a boatload of new features alongside the new Waker class. The one that seems to be making people ask the most questions is the add-on skills. How do they work? How do you get them? Are they per character? I'll go over all of that here. Before I do, for those who are new here, my name is Zan and I make NGS content on YouTube and stream on Twitch every Friday night. Also, like, comment, subscribe. Anyway, to the actual reason you're here. Let's first start with the question, what are add-on skills? These are skills that give you a buff based on what class you're rolling for. These effects do stay in place and can be changed around. If you played base, they're a cross between the title buffs and crafting. Each class has its own passive, ranging from the normal increased potency to photon power recovery while dashing and gliding. They also have sub-skills that provide 2 skills from a pool. As of this recording, the pool is 4 skills, but it might increase later. These stay active even if you're not using that class. There's also a secondary buff that provides a 1% boost to XP, Meseta, and rare drop rates, also known as a tri-boost. For each class, you have a main effect skill active. Between that and the skills themselves, it's recommended to take the time and activate each class's skill at least once. Next on the list is how do you get add-on skills? Head over to the class counter in the main city and you'll see an add-on skill option. Click on that and you'll see generate skill, skill set, and loadout. I'll explain the others later, but for now click on the generate add-on skill and you'll see a list of classes. Click on whatever class you want to work on, which I assume for this video to be your primary class, as it takes class X cubes to do this, and you'll get where we start adding skills. I'm clicking Force as that's what I have the most cubes for, but the basics work for any class. Click on the Add Skill 1 option, click Yes, and roll the dice. If this is your first one, click the top option to register the skill. Congrats, you now have a main class with 2 subclass skills. To prevent confusion, these are primary and secondary skills, not skills related to main and subclasses. How do you get the new class cubes? Currently, we get 1 EX cube and 10 class cubes every time we level past the max level. Right now, it's leveling past 60, but if it's anything like base, we'll get an increased amount of cubes as we level up, so maybe 15 when we get to level 70. They may also keep things balanced out so that we only get 10 cubes. We've been told that we should get class cubes from other sources as well, so you don't need to level up to the equivalent of a 61 on all your classes unless you want to. We do have a slightly different source currently, which is the titles for hitting levels 30 and 50 on a class, rewarding you with a single class cube for that class. So how does it work? It's both super easy and convoluted as all heck. Every time you generate a skill, the game basically rolls a 20-sided die and gives the number. Main effects have a floor based on the highest level you've rolled so far, so everyone starts at level 1, but if you happen to get lucky, you could jump all the way to 20 in the first roll. I personally rolled once on Ranger and got a level 14 skill, but I also rolled 10 times on Force and barely got level 9. On the plus side, I'll never roll lower than that when I try again. Initial reports are suggesting the game generates a number, and if it's lower than your floor, it rounds up. This means you'll still keep your 5% chance to get level 20 the higher you go, rather than making a 50-50 chance when you're rolling at level 19. And like I said before, this only applies to main effects. Sub-effects can be any number, no matter what level you've rolled previously, unless you unlock higher skill ranks. How do you unlock those higher ranks? Keep doing it. As of recording the day after, we have 3 tiers to roll on. According to Arcs of Visiphone, you unlock add-on skill 2 after generating 5 skills, and add-on skill 3 after 20. These give the benefit of a higher skill floor in exchange for more Meseta. Skill 1 is 5,000 Meseta, but starts at level 1. Skill 2 costs 10,000, which gives you a floor of level 5 instead. Skill 3 is the most expensive, is 50,000 Meseta, but it provides a skill floor of level 10 or more. Is it worth the effort to activate all the classes? What can you get? Outside of the up to 9% tri-boost, Hunter, Ranger, and Force get melee, ranged, and tech potency respectively. Fighters get increased critical damage, Gunner and Techer get increased photon blast charge, with Gunner getting it on attack and Techer increasing the amount you get. Braver gets an increased critical chance, Bouncer is able to regain photon power while running and gliding, and Waker increases the amount of photon power you have. As for sub-effects, it's easier to show you on this Google translated list from Swiki as to what classes get what, but everyone gets more HP and some resistance. Do note that due to translation, these won't match up exactly to what the game shows, like one more jump instead of encore jump. I have a link to the global version of Visiphone in the description for those who need the exact names and details. Both sites will also show how much you gain per level. A couple of notes. I haven't found any information one way or the other on if resistances stack, and how they stack if they're multiplicative or additive. I would imagine they're multiplicative like the others, but I don't want to say for sure just in case it's wrong. Unfortunately, the character menu doesn't reflect skills, so I can't visually check it. Also, Fighter and Bouncer skills work differently. Fighter's jump power-up percentage shows how much higher you jump from either walking or standing, not dashing, and Bouncer's percentage is based on the attack you make while pretending you're Mario. Encore jump basically resets the jump count if you jump while touching an enemy, which should help in getting onto a vet or ancient sword's back and going to town on its capsule thingy. Is the system per character? What about per ship? This is an account-based system. I checked this by hopping to ship 2 and confirmed my Force and Bouncer skills were still showing. I also tested this by doing my Ranger skill up and heading back to ship 3 where I don't have a Ranger level high enough to roll. What this means is that whether you have one character or all 30, you'll still get the same bonus no matter what ship you're on. What about some basic tips and tricks? Since the system is less than 48 hours old as of this recording, the fine nuances hadn't been worked out entirely yet. But what I can say is to try and get at least level 1 in all your class skills. I'm personally planning on doing this by grinding until level 30 on each class that I'm not already, and using that cube to unlock the main skill and the tri-boost. Which rank to use is a little harder question. Some people say that rolling at level 1 is better, as it's less Meseta and class cubes are easy enough to obtain. There are arguments for using the level 3 option as your first roll, that way you instantly skip to skill level 10 or higher and try and roll your sub-skills at level 1. I personally would pass on that, but it's something you could potentially justify. What I would recommend is focus on getting the first pass done and then go back later for refinement. Let's say you're short on Meseta and only have 100,000 on you, but you have 1 to 3 cubes of every class. I would do skill 1 on everything to at least get something, which drops you down to 55k, but you've unlocked skill 2. Because of the floor on the main skill, I would keep using skill 1 and hope for a good level on the others. Once you've leveled up enough that you have a bunch of Meseta and cubes, then I'd start rolling for that perfect skill. According to an early tweet from Uber, level 18 main skills seem to be doable within about 40 to 50 cubes for that good enough point, so I'd use that as baseline and polish the skills later on. Editor Zan here, realizing I forgot to mention what add-on skill set and loadout add-on skills do. When you generate a skill, you can register up to 3 loadout sets and can either overwrite a previous skill set or discard it. Add-on skill set allows you to pick which of these 3 sets you want to use. Loadout add-on skills lets you configure what sets you want to do. Let's say you have a set for running around normally, but have a specific build for when you want to do Kavara's purple triggers. You can hop over here while changing your gear loadout and select the skills you want to use. Hopefully, all that answered everything you wanted to know about add-on skills. This is something new, and more info might be discovered in the next couple of weeks. If anything does, I'll put updates down below. If you have any questions, or if I missed something, let me know in the comments below. If you like what you saw, hitting the like button would be appreciated, and subscribing will get you more videos like where to get thousands of star gems per week. Thanks all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.